Tough decision. If you own a business, should you make employees get the vaccine or not? Paul Seegert is with us, managing partner from PCS Advisers, and he talks with employers every day about this. Why do we see bigger companies going to mandates more than the smaller ones?
Well, because there are going to be legal challenges. They're going to be a little more able to deal with that. There are already some lawsuits that we're seeing, in addition to just the ton of questions that these employers end up fielding from their employees. You've got some lawsuits that are going on right now between employers and employees and their employer, suing on the grounds that there's a couple that we're watching, one against the UC system in California, one with a law professor against his law school at George Mason University, where they're claiming, hey, I can show through antibody testing and T-cell testing that I have natural immunity. I shouldn't have to get vaccinated. There's those challenges and others, just the challenge of rolling this out culturally, managing it, and dealing with the reality that you will lose some employees over it. There have been there's a hospital here in Houston recently that lost 153 staff members the day that they announced they were going to have a vaccine mandate. So that's another issue with smaller employers, is that many of them that we speak with feel that if they were to make a mandate, they may not be able to staff their company.
What are you hearing from employers as far as the best ways, if they're not going to mandate a vaccine, to still have a workforce that feels like it is better protected than the average workplace might be?
What we're hearing is that they'd like to do it. They're fearful to do it because of cultural issues and can I staff my facility? And so then the middle ground is to do a surcharge or to give them other options, get vaccinated or mask while in the workplace, socially distance, and submit to COVID testing on a routine basis. In some cases, some employers are requiring that you are tested weekly, some two times a week, some even 3 times a week, in addition to masking and socially distancing. And so they're giving them an option that doesn't require vaccination, but is pretty darn inconvenient, and so many of them then choose to get vaccinated as opposed to doing that.
Yeah, what works better, that negative incentive, so to speak, charging $200, a month more for health insurance like Delta's doing, or the positive incentive, which maybe a full day off or, an extra $200, whatever it may be? What works better?
Well, I think we've run the course with the positive forms. Lots of employers have done that, and they got a certain level of result doing it. And I think all the folks that were motivated by those carrots didn't have deep-seated feelings against getting the vaccine. They just weren't getting around to it. So, hey, might as well, and there's an incentive to do so. But those outliers now tend to be people who feel very strongly about it. They either have a religious exemption, or they may have a medical exemption, or they just simply don't want to do it, and they're very serious about not wanting to do it.
That is Paul Seegert, the managing partner at PCS Advisers. Certainly a very tough decision. Thank you, Paul.